Peace be with you. Dear friends, welcome to Living Flame podcast as well as Living Flame website that is called www.livingflame.ca. This website and podcast, also a connection to the Facebook, will give you every day day's reflection on the gospel as well as Sunday reflections on the gospel. We will also try to post articles on Carmelite spirituality, reflections on meditation, prayer, etc. This podcast will come to you practically every day. Today's gospel passage, Friday of the third week of Lent. Mark's Gospel, chapter 12, verses 28 to 34. Dear friends, in this gospel passage, a scribe approaches Jesus, asking a simple question: which is the greatest commandment of all? According to the Jewish tradition, Talmud, it gives 613 commandments in the Torah. So out of these 613 commandments, 248 are do's and 365 are don'ts. Specifically, many Jewish scholars have compiled various commandments put together. But then they had some commandments together, they had some consensus, but they were various traditions, and consequently they were not able to specifically insist on one particular commandment that was the greatest. And that's why this scribe approaches Jesus, which is the greatest commandment of all? Jesus replies, taking the essence of the Old Testament, what the Old Testament said in the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 6, verse 5. Love your God with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your mind, and with all your strength. And then he takes a text also from the book of Leviticus, that is chapter 19, verse 18. Love your neighbor as yourself. This is practically the whole summary of the Old Testament, prophets, and the teachings. Dear friends, in our daily life, as we are in this beautiful season of Lent, Jesus calls our attention to these two greatest commandments: loving God with all our heart, soul, mind, and strength, and trying to love our neighbor as we love ourselves. Let us come to the second commandment, how we love ourselves. I was trying to make a reflection about myself. I get up in the morning and brush my teeth, drink some water, and then do my exercise practically every day. And then I take bath, I do my prayer, then I celebrate Mass, then I come and have my breakfast, and then come to the office, do my office work, etc. We have all our daily works to do. But then how much attention we give to ourselves every day, whether it is taking care of our health, taking care of our diet, taking care of our daily exercise or sleep, etc. Loving our neighbor as we love ourselves is the toughest commandment, I would say. But according to Jesus, that is the most important commandment after we have the commandment of loving God with all our heart, with all our soul, mind, and strength. So how can we realize this commandment in our daily lives? We should have concern for our neighbor as we take care of ourselves. Dear friends, it is hard, it is going to be tough, but then Jesus insists on this. If we do not love our neighbor as we love ourselves, perhaps this is not going to help us in any way to get into the kingdom of God. And that's why Jesus gives out a beautiful parable, the parable of the Good Samaritan, who took care of that man who fell in the hands of the thieves. And then he brought him into an inn stayed with him at night, and next day he takes out 2 denarii and pays to the innkeeper and says, "Well, take care of him, and I will come back, and if he incurs more expenses, I will pay." That is the kind of love of neighbor we should have. Dear friends, this day helps us to understand in a deeper way what should be our love towards our neighbor. It is not going to be easy, but then we can try to love our neighbor as we love ourselves. God bless you.